Hi everyone. I'm making some black bean and potato burgers. I didn't want to scope mixing it all together because hi, good to see you. It didn't work out too well. There's a lot of things they don't put in the recipe. I probably should have drained the water off with the potatoes and carrots before I put them in there, but they didn't say that in there. So it ended up being real wet, so I added a few breadcrumbs to try to compensate. Now I do have 2 left in the skillet because I wanted you to see what the other ones look like. That's the other ones that are done. Don't they look nice? And I will give you the recipe, and I'll post it up. I will post it up on YouTube to let you know what it. Yeah, I made some big ones this time. I keep putting olive oil in here to cook them, and they're looking pretty, and they're doing pretty good considering that I was afraid they're going to fall apart on me. They're not really, even though I added a little breadcrumbs. Yes, and I will tell you what it's got in it. It's got 3 potatoes in it. I had to grate the potatoes, medium-sized potatoes. 1 carrot. It's got a can of 15-ounce black beans, which those, you got to drain the water off of those. It's got a cup of corn in it, which I bought a can of corn, and I drained that off and put that in there. It's got 4 scallions in it, and plus it's got half of a medium onion in it. It's got 1/2 teaspoon of garlic salt, and that is what's in it. Hi, good to see you. And as you can see, this what's cooking on the stove right now. That's what I got left. And anybody else wants to see it, this is the picture. I'm going to post this also up on Facebook so that I'm going to post these up on Facebook so people can see what they look like. I think they came out actually better than I thought they were going to. I was talking to Erlene and I says, well, they're so wet, I don't know what to do. She says, well, we have to add breadcrumbs to her flour. Well, I don't have any flour, but they didn't say to put breadcrumbs in them. But she says, well, did you take a dish towel and put the potatoes and carrots in there and drain the water off? I says, no. And they didn't say to do that in the recipe. Well, I know to do that now. You know, it's a little bit of trial and error. Doesn't it? It's a little bit of trial and error. These are the first I've ever made. I've never made these before, and I wanted to see how they were going to come out, and I was willing to try it. I wasn't going to scope it first, but then I thought, well, they look good enough to scope after they're done. So I'm just going to, that one's falling apart, but that one's okay. I'll probably eat it right away anyway. But you can see these all held together real nicely. They browned real nicely, since I haven't had my lunch, it's kind of come between lunch and dinner, so this will be a late lunch. But I looked for this recipe. Yeah, I wish it had been in the recipe that way. And like Erlene says, she hates it when they make a recipe up, but they don't put everything in the recipe. Oh, thank you. I just wish they would have turned out a little bit better and wouldn't have been so wet. But at least the ones on the plate look really great. Like I said, I'm going to take a picture of them the way they are, post it on Facebook, and let people see what they look like. You make your own. I'm getting tired of eating hamburger out of the store. We should be eating that. Make our own burgers. Black beans, the carrots and potatoes. No, you're right. You're right. And the thing of it is, when you make something for the first time, it becomes trial and error. That's exactly what it was for me, trial and error, because it was okay at first, but then I couldn't mix it, and I thought, oh no, I can't mix it. But that's just a mistake that they didn't put that in the recipe, and that kind of fell apart. But they didn't put it in the recipe, so what can I do? But they look good, though. These do look very, I'm going to show these again. If you want to take a screenshot of them, you can, because I think that, and I'll pull them a little closer, I think they really look good. And boy, they look mouth-watering to me. Oh, and thank you for all those coming in and shared with your followers, because I'm learning along with you. This is a learning process, Oh, I certainly did. I had 2 of them last night. They're so good. And I did order some carob powder and some carob chips through Amazon. So the next time I make them, I'm going to use carob powder and carob chips to make them chocolate chip cookies. I see Sis May came in. Welcome, Sis May. These are my potato black bean burgers. I've got 2 of them in the skillet. One fell apart. But that's basically what they look like. It was a little bit of trial and error. Which recipe? The one I'm doing now is on YouTube, but I had to find it through Google first. That's how I found it, and then I saw the video through that, and then I printed it out because I tried to find it through YouTube itself, and every time I thought I found the right one, it wasn't the right one. So then I went back and I Googled it like I had before. It came right up. So, and I'm going to, well, yeah, they do look dry now, but they're actually very wet because of the potato and carrots. But I'm going to post the recipe up on YouTube anyway. I'm going to let people see exactly what they have in it, you know. And I wish I wouldn't have had to add the breadcrumbs, but I didn't put that many in there, but just some. And I thought, well, I'll put breadcrumbs in it. We'll see how they're going to do. Put this on here. Well, that one kind of fell apart, but I'll take care of that one. This one didn't, but anyway, it's a little bit of trial and error all the way through, you know. We're going to make mistakes. I know I'm one to make a lot of mistakes. I'm not a very good cook, but I learn like everybody else. And we all learn by doing. If we don't try it, we're never going to know if we're going to be able to do it or not, you know. And so I'm willing to give anything a try. And as you can see, they're all pretty good except for the one that fell apart. I actually got 6 out of it because I made them big. If I'd have made them smaller, I would have got a lot more. Because I don't need that many for myself. What I'm not eating, I can freeze. Well, that's not very nice to say. It's not for dog, it's for me. That is a dirty shame that you come in here. If you don't like what you're looking at, then I suggest you leave because you're going to get blocked for that, for what you said. You're going to get reported on that one. You're going to get. Hi, Dana. Good to see you. These are the potato and black bean burgers I just got finished making. They were a little bit of trial and error because I've never made it before. I had a hard time getting them to mix up because they were so wet and moist. But they held together except this last one kind of fell apart. But I'm going to post it don't they though? But I'm going to post it up on Facebook. And I'm going to post this recipe with the Periscope up on YouTube so that you can see. I think this person needs to be blocked. I've got to block that person. That person is not even sensible. But we get all kinds of people in here. But, you know, this was trial and error. No, this is the first time. So I did make a few mistakes along the way. But, you know, that's how we learn. We learn by our mistakes. It's all trial and error. Arlene's made many mistakes when she's had to throw things away. I didn't want to throw these away because of the ingredients I had in them. So I thought, I'm just going to keep trying it. And I told her, I says, well, I think I'll probably scope it what they look like in the skillet so you can see. You didn't see me making the whole thing because it just was hard. Because it took a lot of processing because I had to grate the potatoes, I had to grate the carrots, I had to mash the beans. And, well, I didn't use anything except I put a few breadcrumbs in it because they wouldn't hold together. But I probably should have taken the carrots and the potatoes and strained them through a dishcloth or a strainer to get the water out. That was my mistake. It wasn't in the recipe, and I probably should have done that because they came out too wet. Because you're supposed to be able to, you know, mix them without them being wet. But, oh, good to see you too. But, you know, like I said, it's a little bit of trial and error. And the next time I make them, if these taste good enough, I'm going to make them again. I'm going to do that very thing. You know, because carrots and potatoes have a lot of moisture in them, you know, and I just dumped them right in with the beans and didn't think about putting them maybe through a dishcloth or a strainer or something, you know, and getting the water out of them. I'll do that the next time, you know, maybe they wouldn't be quite as wet, you know, and I did drain the beans off really well, but, yes, I think you're right. I think that, and I'm going to do that the next time, but you know, like I said, it's trial and error. I've learned by my mistake. But that's what a good cook does. A good cook will learn by the mistakes. Even the most perfect cook in the world makes mistakes. We're all going to make mistakes. Yes, I've got some buns that I'm going to put them on. But we all make mistakes, you know. And I thought, well, I'm going to show you what they look like because they do look pretty. And it's got everything in it that we can have, you know, corn and potatoes and carrots and fried them in olive oil, and it's got garlic salt on it. That's the only seasoning there is. And it's so good. Okay, all right. I'll put it up on YouTube. If you're following me on YouTube, you can check it out there or check the replay on this. And But we all need to start living healthy and you know, doing better. It's been a long struggle for me, but I'm finally getting there. Yes, you can. These are what they call vegan burgers. Absolutely. I will not eat meat anymore. And when I was at Walmart today, I saw people loaded their carts up with all kinds of junk food, the processed food, and the meats and stuff, and I just shook my head and I thought, do they really realize what they're doing? And I went in Leslie Nance Go-To Kitchen's Periscope while I was at Walmart because I could put my earplugs in. I listened to her for a little bit. Somebody was actually in there making fun of me because I was a vegan. Told me there is no such thing as vegan cheese and all that. It comes from milk. I says, yeah, it does, but it's not good for you. You know, they actually made fun of me, you know, and I was about ready to block that person, you know. Oh, you're having bean burgers tonight. They say black bean burgers are really good. In fact, this can that I bought of black beans is organic. So that makes it even better yet. Organic black beans. And you know, I just had a potato masher and I mashed them up. And got, you know, I know I drained the water off of them, but maybe I probably should have run them through a darn dishcloth too. Wouldn't have hurt, or through a strainer. You know, I know now. Next time, don't make them unless I run everything through a strainer first. Because, you know, I forgot that the carrots and the potatoes and the beans all have liquid to them. And that's what made this moisture so wet, you know. But we learn by doing, you know. Oh, she does? Oh, wow. I've never had quesadillas. They do sound good, however. But, you know, make food yourself. Because any diseases that you might have done, because Leslie came back on the second time, I was talking about a friend that she knows that had 22 years old and was dying of cancer. He started going the healthy route, started eating vegan. Do you realize that he eradicated that cancer? 90%. He got rid by 90%. He eradicated it. And that is amazing. Starting to make his own food and eating properly, which we all need to do. Start eating better than we have been. And that's why I do this. Everybody needs to start living healthy and living and being well, you know, because we're going to have to flee someday. But that being said, our bodies are the temple of God, and God said He'll destroy our body if we destroy it. So we want to keep our bodies healthy. And I tried to tell this person, I says, the cheese and milk are not good for you. That person that came into Leslie's scope was making fun of me. I says, they're not good for you. She says, well, poppycock. Well, that's what a lot of people say. Well, I've been eating for years. How can they not be good for me? Do they realize they got chemicals in them? But you tell them that, they probably wouldn't accept it. You know, no chemicals in it. But if they would look at the ingredients on those packages, they would realize there's a lot of chemicals in that food. Chemicals that they should not be putting in their body. And it's sad to say that more and more people are dying prematurely because of the way they're eating. And it doesn't have to be. People need to start living better, start eating better, making their own food if at all possible. Now, like I said, Leslie Nance, she's going on her 5th year of a cancer survivor. She's a vegetarian, but she's not a vegan. So she does eat some meat, but not a lot. But she's trying to teach people how to eradicate cancer. You know, I don't agree with everything that she cooks because a lot of stuff I wouldn't eat. But she has done it, and I know other people can do it too. If you really want to be healthy, you can do it. She had breast cancer. That's what she had. She had stage 4 breast cancer. And she felt like it was a death sentence for her. But she got rid of it. Now she's been 5 years a survivalist. We can all do it. We could all, you know, just start doing what you need to do. She does look great, doesn't she? She absolutely does. And it's amazing how that she's taken very good care of herself in 5 years, and she's got rid of her cancer. She eradicated it. And we all need to do the same thing. I figured if Leslie can do it, I can do it. Although I don't have cancer, praise the Lord, you know, knock on wood. Yes, she is. Yes, she does. She's Leslie Nance from Go-To Kitchens. I follow her on Go-To Kitchens. I don't know if she was on chemo or not. You know, I'm not really sure. You'd have to ask her about that. But I know this is going on her 5th year of surviving cancer. And she started eating healthy, and she got rid of her cancer. Chemo isn't good for you, whether you realize it or not, because chemo will hurt you. My daughter-in-law had stage 3 cancer, breast cancer. She was on chemo. She had 6 chemotherapy treatments that were $15,000 a piece. And that's $60,000 for 4 chemotherapy treatments. She lost all her hair, and since then her hair has not grown back like it should because the chemo really wrecked her system. And she didn't understand that. If she had just asked me, I would have told her, don't take the chemo. But, stage 2. But she was really sick. I mean, she was really sick. I mean, Christmas time one year, she looked like death warmed over. It was sad. Yeah, it does. It messes you up. And her hair has never really grown back like it should. It started to grow back. On the top, she's got bald somewhat because it's not growing back. And I don't think it ever will because that chemical that she put in her body ruined the roots of her hair. And I've told her that she could probably get some, like maybe some hair growth or something and see if she could get it to grow back. Because she had, before she got the cancer, she had natural curly hair. And it was down below her shoulders. Beautiful curly hair. But no more. You know, it's coming in curly in the back now. But it's just a shame that she had to that had to happen to her. You know, because she's like the cog in the wheel that holds our family together. And if anything would happen to her, our family would just literally fall apart. Because we consider her the matriarch of the family. Is what we do, because she's for everybody. You know. Yeah, I know it possibly could. You're right. You're right. I think so, but right now they're not eating meat. After she got done with her chemotherapy. Hi, Megan. Good to see you. Here's the burgers that I made. I put them on a paper plate because I'm going to take a picture of them for Facebook. That after her chemo got done, they decided not to go on eat meat anymore because I think she felt the meat was causing her problem. I'm not saying necessarily it was, but it's a good thing. So they eat no more meat. So they're not what you call real plant-based yet because she still use milk. She uses egg products to make cakes because she's got a side business that she makes birthday cakes, wedding cakes, and birth announcement cakes for people that that are having babies, and she makes money that way. The only spice I put in it was garlic salt. That was it. It's got potatoes in it. It's got carrots in it. It's got corn in it. It's got black beans, and that's it. And the garlic salt. No, these are not brownies. No, these are burgers. These are our black bean burgers that I did on the stove. Yes, it's got corn in it. No, I can't stand spices. Real heavy spices, no. But when it comes to mild spices, fine. But don't give me anything real heavy. I don't like anything hot. I don't like it because the potatoes and carrots were not cooked. If that's the question you asked, because it went away too fast. But no, they're not cooked. I had to grate them. But here again, I didn't get the water out of them, and I put them in the bowl along with the beans, and it was all real wet, so I added a few breadcrumbs to kind of, dry it out a little bit. But they still held together okay. I think I'm going to, the next time I make them, I'm going to strain the beans and the potatoes and carrots first before I make them, because I make the burgers. I think it'll be a lot better. I don't even use pepper. No pepper at all. Anything that calls for pepper, I leave it completely out. I don't even use pepper. So there's no answer to that one, because I don't like pepper. I don't use it. I don't feel it's necessary. Because I leave that out of a lot of recipes that I've done lately. Calls for black pepper, I just leave it out. I put the salt in it, but not the black pepper. So but I'm gonna have to get around to eating these pretty quick because it is good. Because I haven't had my supper yet, or my lunch yet. Oh, nope. I don't even eat chicken. I don't eat anything with a face. Absolutely not. I don't eat anything with a face. No, I don't like pepper either. I don't eat anything with a face. I don't eat dairy. I don't eat cheese. I don't drink milk. I don't eat meat. Anything with a face, I do not eat it. You're a vegetarian? Well, I was up until recently. I became a completely vegan. Nope, I don't eat fish either. I don't eat anything that has a face. Oh, yes, it is. It's just as bad. It's still considered meat. It's just as bad as the rest of them. It has a face, doesn't it? It's still bad. And you don't want to eat any of that stuff. Make your own. That's why I made these burgers. Because I love burgers. And I made my own. And I'll have some to freeze now. And I'll have them to eat whenever I want them. Well, when it comes to tofu, I'm really not in favor of tofu. So I really don't fix anything with tofu that much because it's an acquired taste. Actually, it doesn't have any taste at all. But I've done tofu scramble, but I didn't really like it after I got done with it. You know, so I'm not a favor of tofu. Now, if there's a recipe that I like that has tofu in it, I'll fix it. But I try to avoid those at all costs. I'd rather eat something that doesn't have tofu in it. I'm originally from Indiana, but I live in Oregon right now, and I've lived in Hawaii as well. So, but I'm going to have to go pretty quick and eat these burgers because they're begging for me to eat them. They're just calling out to me to eat them. So, but I thank you all for coming in here and sharing this with your followers, and I thank you all for coming in, the live viewers as well as the replay viewers that are coming later on, and I hope you all take care. God bless, and talk to you later. Bye-bye.